Good evening. So we are here for a discussion on CSAT. How to prepare for CSAT. In fact, you have just completed your central holidays. I hope this holidays has given you fresh motivation for you to prepare for the examination. When the target is large, need larger motivation. So the festival has given you enough motivation. So back to the preparation.
I think most of you feel that CSAT is easy to crack and non-important subject, but it is not so. If you have seen the recent trends in the paper, the trends are changing. The difficulty level has been increasing. In fact, you can just see the 2023 previous paper. It has been a bouncer, but it was guessable paper. Still, many of you faced issues. So CSAT is one of the major subject you need to focus on. So let's have a brief discussion on that. So what is the syllabus? What is the today's agenda? First, we'll be discussing with the syllabus and what are the PYQs, what is the significance of using PYQs and its analysis, and how can it be used for the preparation of CSAT exclusively. So coming to the syllabus. In syllabus, we have comprehension passages. So what are basically these passages? In traditional passages, which we have been seeing in the beginning, in those passages, first we used to read the passage or the question and then the passage. It was a simple passages, but these passages are different. So it requires a different approach than the previous passages. So you need to understand how to read the passage, how to understand it, and then attempt the given question. Next, interpersonal skills, including communication skills. In the recent years, we are not finding any question on interpersonal skills and decision making. No question has been asked from both these topics for past 5 years. But there were questions in 2014. I think so. The last question on these topics was around 2014 and 15. In last 9 years itself, there were no questions on these topics. So we'll have only basic view on those topics, but not majorly. Next, logical reasoning and analytical ability. In this logical reasoning, we have verbal, non-verbal. It includes different types of topics. So first you need to understand which all topics are in logical reasoning and general mental ability as well. Next, basic numeracy. Basic numeracy includes the number system, calculations, profit and loss, time and work. These concepts comes under the basic numeracy. Data interpretation. From past 2 years, there are no questions on data interpretation as well. But sometimes it is easy to just be prepared. Next, what is the significance of these PYQs? So why is PYQ necessary for the preparation? Understanding the trends. In fact, I've already said 2023 paper. Why I'm repeatedly mentioning the paper 2023 is 2023 is said to be unguessable paper. But if you have seen the recent trends of the past for that particular year, you would have easily guessed how the paper pattern would be. Hence, we need to understand the latest trends. Latest trends includes not only UPSC examination, civil services examination, but other examinations of UPSC as well. Next, as per PYQ analysis, first, we need to have a basic, strong foundation of basic concepts. Without basic concepts, any particular question is being unsolvable in this particular examination. What is the pattern, the conceptual clarity, and the concentrated areas in the examination? We can easily understand using PYQs what are these areas. That is the reason we repeatedly mention that go through all the PYQs before you start preparing, so that you can understand which concepts to prepare and which not to prepare. So these are certain PYQ questions from the past few years. This is from 2024 paper. This is again from 2024 paper. So if you look into both these papers, both these questions in 2024, here they've asked the number of zeros at the end of the product. The trend has been changing how they asked these questions. But every year there's at least one question asking the number of zeros. Though they are using different notations, but they're asking the number of zeros. So you need to understand how to find these without actually calculating. Next, it is one of the basic question, but most of the students have said that this question they have left because they have given very much data on that. But there's a small thing over here. Total savings is a perfect cube as well as a perfect square. So which number is a perfect square or a perfect cube? Both perfect square as well as perfect cube. That is 64. So you need to understand 64 as a perfect square, as a perfect cube. Only then we can find this particular question. Next, this is from 2023 question paper. If you look into this particular question, it is said that he has 10 pairs of red, 9 pairs of white, 8 pairs of black shoes in a box. If he randomly picks the shoes one by one without replacement from the box to get a red pair, what is the maximum number of attempts he has to make? Most of the cases, we tend to understand this question as question from permutations and combinations. But no concept of permutations or combinations is used in this particular thing. This is a pure reasoning based question. Because most of us fear for different topics. One of them will be permutations, combinations, and other is probability. Because we feel that both of these topics are tougher and it requires larger understanding of the concept. So we'll be leaving those topics. But in the recent years, UPSC is trying to make sure that a general logical reasoning type of question is viewed as a permutations questions. And this is one of the example for that. Next. This is another question in 2023. If you look into that question, it is pure calendar based question. Not only pure calendar, we need to also understand the number system. Here we need to understand the concept of number system and the calendars. So they have mixed two different topics. Interlinking of these topics has been the recent trend in different examinations. So in the coming examinations as well, we can expect that two different topics will be intermingling with each other and form a question. Next, these are questions from the 2022 question paper. Yes, in the recent years as well, we can find there's an increase in the number of questions of data sufficiency. Previously, we had this particular pattern in paper 1. GS paper 1, we had number of data sufficiency questions. In paper 2, they were very nil questions. But recently, the number of questions have been increasing in paper 2 as well for data sufficiency. In data sufficiency, one of the major advantages is no need to calculate. So it will be very easy to answer the particular question. Let's look into this particular question. It is said that Q is 18 kilometers from R and P is 43 kilometers from R. How far is city P and Q? So what are the different statements that can be used? Can we answer that? Here, most of us feel that both the statements are necessary, but no. Even if you use both the statements, we cannot answer this particular question. Why? Here he has given only Q and distance between Q and R and P and R, but not the directions. That is where the UPSC is playing games. Here you need to understand the basic concept that direction is as well necessary to understand the distance between the 2 points. So in this concepts as well, I'm saying that basic concepts are very necessary for UPSC. So how effective will be these PYQs? First, you'll understand the pattern of the question, how deep they are. If you see these both the papers, this particular question is very basic in nature, while this particular question is intermix of two different topics. And if we just look into this particular question, it is said that today is Sunday. What is the day after 10 power 10th day? So I'll just basically solve this one particular question. It is given that 10 power 10th day. So first we need to find the odd number of days. How will be finding the odd number of days? We'll just divide the given number by 7. So dividing this by 7, we can write it as 7 plus 3 by 7 whole power 10. The remainder of this is 3 power 10 by 7 by remainder theorem. In number system, we have a concept of remainder theorem. From that, we can get that the remainder is 3 power 10. But even 3 power 10 is difficult to calculate. So we'll be going to the next step. That can be written as 9 minus 2. Sorry. It can be written as 9 power 5, 3 power 10. 3 square is 9. So 9 power 5 is 3 power 10. When this number is divided by 7, we can 7 plus 2 whole power 5 by 7. Same. Again, the remainder theorem concept will be used. You'll be getting it as 2 power 5. The remainder as 2 power 5. 2 power 5 is 32. So when we'll be dividing 32 by 7, the number of the odd days will be 4. So once you get the odd days, because first day is Sunday, that is 0 is Sunday, 1 Monday, 2 is Tuesday, 3 is Wednesday, and 4 is Thursday. So the day after 10 power 10th day will be Thursday. This is the actual question, what they want you to find out in this particular question. If you look in this particular question, we have used the concepts of calendars once. In the number system, the remainder theorem concept has been used twice. So instead of applying the concept only once, we are using it twice. So what I want to say is, most of the cases will be applying one concept only once. But UPSC wants to understand that the same concept can be applied twice to the same question as well. So based on that, you can understand how deep you have to go into a topic. This is necessary from the PYQs analysis. Next, what are the different types of questions? As previously said, there are more number of questions on data sufficiency. So we need to concentrate majorly on data sufficiency, and there are two different topics combined together. Like in few years papers, they have mixed the topics of time and work with calendars. Again, we have recently seen number system with calendars. So they are mixing two different topics. We need to carefully map the syllabus. Mapping of syllabus is as well necessary. Here we are speaking about PYQs and syllabus only. We have not gone into the subject right now. We are only sticking on to syllabus as well as PYQ, so that we can understand which concepts are necessary, which concepts are not that necessary. Just an analysis of last 2 years. In fact, the first thing everyone say in the preparation, the UPSC is unpredictable. We cannot predict which particular question or which pattern they have been asking, but it is easily breakable. If you look into the 2023 and 2024 papers, number of questions from comprehension has remained as 27. In quantitative aptitude, we got 35 questions each. In verbal reasoning, 18 and 17, and in analytical ability, 1 question in 2024. So the number of questions are almost similar, except in this particular case, else they're very equal. And that is only 1 question difference. So focusing on few particular topics can help you to score the minimum cutoff. As paper 1, if you look into paper 1, for 200 marks, we need to get maximum possible marks. But here, there's only minimum qualifying mark, that is 67.67. If you clear that particular mark, you're qualified in this examination for paper 2. So let's fix our discussion to score at least 70 marks. 70 to 75 marks, if you just score it, then undoubtedly you will clear the examination. So let's put an end or prepare ourselves to score at least 75 marks. Once you're very good that you'll get 75 marks on guaranteed, then you can happily prepare with paper 1. And paper 1 is most important as well. Previously, I've said that there are 35 questions from aptitude. You need to understand what are the topics that are frequently asked. That only after analysis of PYQs you get to know. Next, what are the most frequent topics for which you require in-depth preparation? You need to go in-depth for particular concepts and only the basic concepts for certain chapters. Next, so what are the focus areas? I've already said we need to clear only with 75 particular marks. So we'll not prepare the complete syllabus in this REWISE classes. Before starting the REWISE classes, we'll just give the major topics that from which there are more number of questions. Example, we have more number of questions from number system. In fact, from number system, there have been many number of questions. Interlinking is majorly used with number systems only. So we'll be applying most of the syllabus or discussion with number systems. Similarly, there are only very few topics covering which you can easily score 80 marks. 80 plus, in fact. Other topics, even if you're a bit weak and others, without attempting it as well or preparing it as well, you can score 80 because you've already gone through the PYQs. You know, you do understand which particular concepts you need to prepare. Next, what are the references? First, for quantitative aptitude, you go through R.S. Agarwal. For reasoning, we have 2 different books. One is R.S. Agarwal and other is Sezwali. Both the books are good enough with the basic concepts. All these 3 books, you can brush up your basics. If you take any of the recent papers, you take 22, 23 or 24 examination papers, nowhere there's deeper understanding of the concepts, deeper into the subject or the formula based. You need to only understand the concepts and apply those concepts so that you can clear that answer and get that answer. So first, you need to understand the concepts and apply it, not just formulas. Any usage of formulas only, you cannot score good marks in this examination. Next, you also have CivicCentre material for reasoning and aptitude, which can help you to clear it. Next, how shall we prepare for the examination? First, SWOT analysis. What is this SWOT analysis? First, strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats. Basically, this concept is majorly used with finance related aspects. But how to use with the preparation? First, when you're going through the syllabus, you understand which particular topics you're good in, that are your strengths. Any question from that particular concept, you can easily answer it. So that is your strength and weakness. Similarly, weakness is that which you cannot answer it. Next, what are the opportunities? Those particular topics from which there are major number of questions in the examination and that which are simple to answer. You need to understand those particular questions. Those are your opportunities. Coming to the threats. There are certain topics in the examination in which you can easily put a wrong answer. You might know the concept completely, but the options are given such that you can easily get bluffed and give the wrong answers. Those are your threats. So you need to be very careful while marking your answers. So understand which particular topic you have based on the SWOT analysis and then start your preparation. Next, rapid repeated revision. Once you understand the concepts, you need to revise it regularly. How to revise it? Basically, if you take any other subject like polity or history, you can have a mind maps or any other thing where you can rapidly revise the concepts. But how to revise CSAT? CSAT requires practice. First, you need to be able to solve the given question, the calculation, and the other aspects. So you need to be very good with your calculations as well. So are these PYQs alone enough for your preparation? Not exactly that PYQs alone is necessary, but PYQs are important. But along with PYQs, you need to understand the basic concepts and apply it with the examination. So what will be happening in the revised classes? In fact, we have already been, this schedule for revised classes. You will be allotted 20 different classes for CSAT. So what will be dealt in these 20 different classes? First, previously I've already said that we'll be giving only certain topics from which you can easily score minimum marks of 80. We'll be majorly focusing on those concepts like number system, data sufficiency, calendars and clocks. I'm just saying few topics as example that how we'll be preparing. So why I've taken only these three particular concepts right now. Similarly, I've taken many different concepts for your preparation. So why only those particular concepts? In these particular concepts, I've not taken certain concepts like comprehension passages as I've not covered it. Why I do not prescribe comprehension passages? Or why is passages one of the game changers? There's a separate technique through which you need to understand before attempting the passages. If you do not know that particular technique, then you cannot attempt these particular passages. So first understand the technique and then start attempting those. practice, regularly practice. Yes, in this peak hours, we'll be having your examination in May, and this is almost at the end of January. In 4 months, we'll be having your examination, prelims examination. In these 4 months, in which aspects you'll be focusing? Yes, most of them, they'll focus on the paper one. Paper one will be your major focus, and paper two will be the next preference only after paper one. That is, in general, everyone do the same type of preparation. You allot some time for paper two as well. Along with paper one, if you clear the cutoff in paper one, but you have only scored 30 marks in paper two, then all the efforts that have you put to the paper one is of no use. You to at least get 66.67, that is 1/3 of the total marks in the examination. So what are the focus areas? As said, number system. Once I start the concepts of number system, all the basic concepts along with the PYQs will be clearly explained, and you will be given worksheets. Why these worksheets? These worksheets will help you to understand how well you have understood the subject. Say suppose today I am taking the number systems class. I have given you a worksheet today in the evening, so that it is necessary for you to solve by the next class, so that you can ask your new doubts, can easily understand the concept, and be prepared with number system. Similarly, clocks, calendars. How to deal with passages? In passages, you can, even in the 20 classes, there are separate sessions only for passages, where different passages will be given and it will be analyzed, how the analysis works over here, and these concepts will be easily explained. So just look into one of the previous papers. This is the paper of 2024. How easy is this paper 2024? We'll just look into it. Yes, this particular question. Number of zeros at the end of the given product. So looking into this product, most of us will leave this particular question. But this is one of the most easiest question if you understand how to solve the number of zeros. What is the number given? 1 square into 2 power 4 into 3 power 6 into so on into 25 power 50. This is the question given. First, when will you get zeros at the end of the product? When it is multiplied by 10. 10 is 2 into 5. So the maximum power to 2 or 5, whichever is maximum, minimum, that will be the number of zeros at the end of this particular product. So what to do? We need to find here 2 power m into 5 power n. These m and n shall be integers. I'm just taking m and n for examples. So we need to find m and n. First, let's find n. Here we'll be having 5 power 10 into 10 power 20, 15 power 30, 20 power 40, 25 power 50. These are the things that you can find with 5 multiples. No other number is multiple of 5 in the given product. 5 power 10, 10 is 2 into 5. So again to the power of 20, 3 into 5, 5 to the power of 30, 5 power of 40. This is 5 square. So to the power of 100. So the answer will be 200. I have just only found for the power of 5. But I already know that there will be more number of powers for 2. So directly the answer I can fix with is 5. In this particular question only. Sometimes you need to find even to the power of 2. So here we will be having 200 zeros at the end of this particular product. So it is one of the simplest method to solve this particular question. Next. Yes. Look into this particular question. Looking into this particular question, everyone will only try to skip this particular question. But you shall not skip this particular question. This is one of the simplest question. Easiest question in the complete paper. How? With option elimination. The number is 2 power 333 plus 3 power 222. For which we need to find the divisibilities. First, one basic concepts. Any even number multiplied by even number is even number. So this is an even number. Any odd number multiplied with odd number is odd number. This is odd number. When we add an even number and an odd number, we'll be getting odd number. Odd number is never divisible by 2. Now look into the options. The option says it is divisible. Here it is divisible by 2 and by 2. But this particular option, it is not at all divisible by 2 as per the option. So that is the answer. Here we have not calculated anything. We have only understood what is an even number and an odd number. Only 2 basic concepts. And we could solve this particular question. Next. Similarly, even looking into this particular question. It is said that x, y, z are prime numbers that are less than 10. 3 distinct prime numbers. So what are the different prime numbers that are less than 10? We have only 4 prime numbers. Two, 3, 5, and 7. These are the only 4 prime numbers that are less than 10. We need to select any 3 and add it. So I'm just simply taking the other way. I'm adding all these given numbers, which is 17. We need to have only 3 numbers. So I'll be subtracting each one. First case is 17 minus 2, which is 15. 17 minus 3 is 14. 17 minus 5 is 12. And 17 minus 7 is 10. So the possible values for S is 15, 14, 12, and 10. Only there are 4 different possible values. So 5 and 0, but it cannot end with 9. So statement 2 is wrong, 1 and 3 are correct. So 1 and 3 only. So we have used only the concepts that prime numbers less than 10, we have only added and subtracted. We have not done major calculations, only very simple calculation and within few minutes. Here we'll be getting 2.5 and here 2.5, 5 marks. So they are very simple questions in every paper. Yes, I do say that there are tougher questions as well, but easier questions, with easier questions, when we are able to score more than 80, no need to waste our time on very tougher questions or the lengthy and time taking particular questions. Next, this is one particular question which is directly formula based. What is the angle between minutes and hours and at 425? So simply applying the formula, we'll be getting that particular answer. We are repeatedly mentioning going through the PYQs. One such example, this particular question. The same question appeared 5 times in previous year examinations, UPSC paper 2, with different numbers. The concept is same, everything is same. Only they are changing the numbers and giving this particular question. The page numbers. How many times number 5 comes in 260? There we have plugged one page. So what is that page number? Both this type of questions have been repeatedly asking in the examination. So focusing on these particular things, because we have understood the PYQs, you can easily secure given marks. Now looking into the data sufficiency, there are many number of questions on data sufficiency only. So these data sufficiency questions can help you to score better because it is not time taking to solve the exam in the examination. There are no calculations. You need to only understand the concept. When there is no calculation, you can immediately answer those particular questions. So never leave a question on data sufficiency. Let's briefly have a look into 2023 paper as well. Why I'm repeatedly mentioning the paper 2023 in my discussion. 2023 paper is said to be one of the toughest paper in CSAT. In last 11 years, from 2013 till 2024, 2023 paper is one of the toughest paper. Yes, it is toughest paper, but there are certain questions from fixed number of topics through which you can easily secure 70 marks. In other papers or in a 2024 paper or 22 paper, they are scope that within fixed topics, you have got at least 110 marks. But in 2023, it was limited only to 70 marks. But still, it is greater than your qualifying mark, that is 67. Hence, I'm already saying that. So let's have a brief look with 2023 paper. Yes. What is the reminder? What is the reminder when 85 into 87 into 89 into 91 into 95 into 96 is divided by 100? He has given very large number and then asking you to divide it by 100 and then find its remainder. Practically speaking, this is not possible to calculate it within the given time. We have only 2 hours, 80 questions. So we need to at least make sure that each question doesn't take more than 2 minutes. But is it possible to calculate it within 2 minutes? No. Then what are the techniques used here? First technique, 96. It is 4 into 24. 96 is a multiple of 4. Next, we have a 95, which is a multiple of 5. 85, which is again multiple of 5. We have 5 into 5, 25, 25 into 4, 100. So the given number is divisible by 100. When a number is divisible by the same number, then the remainder will be 0. This is how your approach towards a question shall be. So in the revised classes, along with the basic concepts, how the approach for a particular question shall be will be equally explained. Yes. Look into this particular question. XYZ, XYZ. We are dividing it that particular number. So XYZ, XYZ. It can be written as XYZ into 1000 plus 1. Sorry, 1000 plus XYZ. So if you remember XYZ, it is 1001. Now we need to find the multiples of 1001. Is it divisible by 7, 11 and 13? That is what they are asking in the question. So simply we are just solving the given question into a simple format so that we can answer that particular question. So the major thing is approach for that particular question as well. So these are the different papers and how the approach will be in the revised classes. And even if you have any doubts, you can just ask regarding our preparation. So what is the time that you give for paper 2? Anyone, if you are preparing for 8 hours, so in 8 hours, how much time you are giving for paper 2? And what is the ideal time at least you need to spend with paper 2? So in generally, at least you need to spend 1 hour in your preparation. 1 hour per day with paper 2. Okay, so if there are no doubts, we'll be ending the session.